Welcome to the November 13th, 2025 regular board meeting of the Banning Unified School District Board of Trustees. The time is 5:30. Please be advised that a recording or broadcast of this meeting is being made at the direction of the board. Clerk Anguiano, please take roll.
Trustee Martinez Lara. Present. Trustee Navales.
Present.
Trustee Troutman. Present. President Ruiz.
Present.
And Clerk Anguiano is present. Please let the record reflect that we have a quorum.
Item 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance. We now invite our Cadet Corps to present the colors ahead of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hold our alt, left, face, present, colors. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, colors. Right, face. Forward, march. Left, 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 right, left. Hard nine, march. Hold our alt. Left, face. Order, colors. Hold our dismiss.
Item 1.3, Adopt Agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Are there any board requests to change the agenda? Do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as posted?
I move. I second.
I have a motion from Trustee Troutman and a second from Clerk Anguiano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I never say nay. I probably should know. The agenda is adopted with a 5-0 vote. Item 1.4, Student Presentations. I would like to invite Dr. Causey Bush to the podium to introduce this evening's student presentations. My mouth stopped working.
Good evening, President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and the Banning community. It is my pleasure to introduce our student speakers for the evening, and I would like to first begin with our youngest student from Cabazon Elementary School, Mario Velasco, a fourth grade student. Feel comfortable standing here? We like to make sure that he's visible.
Good evening, Board President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. Hi, I'm Mario Velasco. I'm currently a fourth grade GATE student attending Cabazon Elementary. This year has been great so far because the food is amazing and the teachers are very nice. My class has done a lot of fun things this year, like getting popsicles for positive behavior and going to the playground for a little bit of free play. In the morning, we have announcements. Students say the Pledge of Allegiance and say our promise. Dr. Anderson lets us know what's on the food menu today. I always pray it's Domino's Pizza. Unfortunately, it's not always Domino's Pizza. After that, Dr. Anderson announces the AR certificate winners. The announcements are wrapped up with a dad joke. I can't always say to get a laugh. Being a GATE student has been delightful. We just completed the chess segment. I had a match against Coach Silva and can confidently say he destroyed me. We also have a fun after-school program called Boys and Girls Club. We do fun activities there, and we also do experiments. The school in general has done a lot of fun things like a costume parade for Halloween, an avid math night, and fun PBIS assemblies. Last year, we had a PBIS assembly on Pi Day. I volunteered to get pied in the face, and it was very yummy. I really like the school because it's positive here and feels like one big family.
Well done, Mario. Thank you.
That's going to be a hard act to follow for our next students, but I am confident they can do it. Representing Nicollet Middle School is Yuritsi Morales.
Good evening, Board President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. My name is Yuritsi Morales, and I am proud to be Nicollet Middle School's ASB president. Here are some highlights from this past month on our campus. We kicked things off with our first Spirit Day, October Day, on October 9th. Students showed off fun socks like Hello Kitty and Snoopy. On October 16th, we participated in the Great American Shakeout Drill, and everything went smoothly. Our next Spirit Day, Wear the Missing Piece, took place on October 23rd with lots of students wearing red to show we are a drug-free school. The biggest event was our Halloween dance on October 24th with a fun carnival theme, costume dress code, and snacks like mini pancakes, cotton candy, and popcorn. Boograms were also sold and later delivered on Halloween, which was filled with great costumes, and Dia de los Muertos celebration led by our dual immersion classes in our club. In athletics, golf and softball wrapped up their seasons, while cross country, girls volleyball, and cheer, and boys flag football continued to compete. Our boys won their first 2 games. Looking ahead, get ready for Blackout Day, Twin Day, our second food day, and the turkey trot. Thank you for your support. Let's make it another great month at Nicollet.
This evening, representing Coombs Alternative, we have Jose Carbajal.
Good evening, Board President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. I am Jose Carbajal from Coombs Alternative Education, a proud member of class of 2027. I am honored to be Coombs student speaker, Coombs student speaker, sharing our district message and some of our highlights. Congratulations are in order for the November students of the month. For New Horizons, Jasmine Verduzco, and for BHS, Student Board Representative Mary Brito. The success of our students truly remind us we are Banning. From October 27th to the 31st, Coombs celebrated Red Ribbon Week. The dress-up days were a hit, especially Freaky Thursday, where students dressed up like staff and staff dressed up like students. On October 30th, Coombs had the opportunity to listen to guest speaker Nella Yerkes, a motivational speaker and foster youth advocate. Her inspirational story of resilience, growing up in a foster care, attending New Horizons, graduating from Banning High School and San Diego State University had a huge impact on students. Nella reminded students that no matter what circumstances they grow up with, they have the power to achieve success. On October 31st, students and staff were spooked by the New Horizons Dawn of Darkness Haunted House. Banning Independent Study School, Room 210, won a pizza party in the annual door decorating contest. This month, New Horizon High School is once again sponsoring a canned food drive to support the HELP organization and to hope to give back to our community. We will be collecting canned foods to help local families through November 17th. Coombs now has a chess club in room 204 on Friday at 2 p.m. Come have fun, make friends, and learn some new moves. Finally, we are excited to kick off our basketball season. Today was our first game. Thank you for allowing me to share our Coombs Alternative Report with you.
And representing Banning High School this evening, in the absence of our ASB president, is our very own student board member, Mary Brito.
Good evening, Board President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. The month of October was full of energy and excitement at Banning High School as the campus came alive with Halloween festivities. Students and staff alike participated in the celebration by dressing up in creative costumes and contributing to the fun, spirited atmosphere. The event fostered a strong sense of community and school pride, reminding everyone of the importance of creating spaces where students can express themselves and enjoy positive campus traditions. In addition to the seasonal celebrations, Bennett High School was also honored to welcome the Freedom Riders Foundation to campus. Their visit was truly inspiring for every student as the speaker shared personal stories of resilience, empowerment, and hope. The presentation encouraged students to believe in their own voices and recognize the power of their stories. Many students and staff expressed how meaningful it was to connect with a Freedom Rider and how their message reinforced the value of compassion, perseverance, and education. Another highlight of the month was the growing presence and activity of school clubs. Benning High School is fortunate to have an increasing number of student-led organizations that provide opportunities for involvement, leadership, and community service. We are especially grateful for the district and the administration's continued support in prioritizing club opportunities, including fundraising events that help clubs thrive. The commitment to fostering student engagement through clubs has strengthened our school culture and provided meaningful ways for students to explore their interests. Finally, we are proud to celebrate the accomplishments of our athletic teams. Both the football and tennis teams have advanced to CIFs, representing Banning High School with their determination and teamwork. Their hard work and dedication reflect the Bronco spirit and continue to inspire pride throughout the school community. Overall, this month showcased the unity, creativity, and excellence that define Banning High School, from campus celebrations and motivational guest speakers to student leadership and athletic successes. Our students continue to shine in all areas of campus life. Thank you.
That concludes our comments from our student board members. Thank you.
Item 1.5, I would like to invite our student board member to share her comments.
Good evening, Board President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, and Superintendent Davis, and of course, the members of the Banning community. My name is Mary Adefa Brito, and I am a proud member of the Associate Student Body, the senior class, and so much more here at Banning High School. I am truly grateful for the opportunity to stand before you today and to not only represent my senior class, but the student body as a whole. Today, I want to discuss the lack of electives and opportunities at Banning High School. This means that my peers and I are severely lacking when it comes to exposure to the same opportunities in comparison to other schools. Although Banning High School has improved immensely over the years, there is still an opportunity for growth. Despite our high school offering electives such as theater and tech theater, art, Spanish, carpentry, and auto, there is still room to grow as they do not do justice for our students, especially those who want to go to college or venture to other careers. Personally, I plan on pursuing journalism as a career. Sadly, I am at a disadvantage when I enter college as I have little to no journalism experience. For example, this can be participating in a school newspaper or other stuff like that. This means that I am lacking when it comes to when I go to college and having those experiences that my other peers in college may have. Unfortunately, this dilemma is not unique to me alone. Many of my peers have complained about not being properly prepared for their future careers in college. Some students dream of becoming chefs, but we lack a culinary program. Some want to explore journalism like me, or creative writing, law, or debate, yet there are no classes that nurture those interests. Students passionate about technology, robotics, fashion design, or sustainably also have limited opportunities to develop those skills. Even in the arts and language, there is still room to grow. Our art program could include courses like ceramics or design. In addition, we can offer classes beyond Spanish and offer courses such as French or American Sign Language. Seeing as many Banning students here already speak or are fluent in Spanish. We suggest using the staff already here at Banning High School and seeing which courses we could add to those teachers who may be or are close to being qualified to teach those courses. Several teachers have already expressed that they would be interested in expanding electives, with one stating that they would be willing to teach a journalism or creative writing course. This demonstrates the passion and ability to grow already exists in our school. The next step is to provide the support to make it happen. Providing these electives show that every student has the chance to discover their passions, prepare for their future, and enter college on equal footing with their peers, rather than falling behind. And also, I wanted to add something different. For the last meeting, I talked about how we needed to improve the mental health of the seniors here at Banning High School. And I would like to say, and I would like to thank, I do not know where he is, but I would like to thank Mr. Paz. He is making effort to improve the mental health of our seniors here at Banning High School. And it is truly an honor to feel like our voices are being heard. A lot of students are really excited for the new plans that Mr. Paz has for us. And so I would like to give a special thanks to Mr. Paz for making that happen. And thank you.
Item 1.6, opportunity for community comments, closed session items. Did we receive any other community comments?
Just the 3 that I gave you. Go ahead and read it. Individuals who wish to address the board on matters which affect the district and its programs are requested to complete a request to address Board of Trustees card and submit it to the administrative assistant. Speakers are asked to limit comments to 3 minutes. While the board welcomes input from the community, they will not respond or take action during the public comments. The board may decide to refer matters to the district staff or take under advisement for a future meeting. All speakers are reminded to be respectful and courteous.
I think I mixed up the order, so I apologize. I'd like to invite down Jake Niesel.
Sorry if I messed this up. It's my first time. So,
You're fine.
I am Jake Niesel. I'm the head football coach at Banning High School, and I'm here to talk about support and with athletics. So, to me, support is more than just saying you back the football program. It's consistent actions that show you value what we do for our students. When promises like 6-period football don't happen, our players end up lifting after school and practicing until 7 p.m., not getting home until 7:30 p.m. most nights. That's not fair to them. They deserve better. Supporting our booster club means working with parents and community who give their time and help our kids. Our t-shirts were declined, our game day food trucks were taken away, and our snack bar does not benefit football at all. Every idea is met with new restrictions and pushback instead of partnership. Supporting our coaches means trusting the people who put in daily work with our student athletes, communicating, being honest, supporting. Support is having enough coaching stipends to properly coach a high school football program. This lack of support was clear at our playoff game. There were no words of encouragement or presence from leadership leading up to game day. While the other school had twice as many coaches on the sideline, transported their band to the game, had students brought from school. Meanwhile, we weren't even able to sell our championship t-shirts at our game. It's disappointing. We keep trying to build something positive for our kids, but the more we do, the more obstacles appear. We're not asking for special treatment, just the same support, respect, and follow through that other programs get. Last year, I emailed leadership to express how close I was to leaving. Not only did I not get a meeting, I never even got a response to that email. Meanwhile, neighboring programs are being invested in. Beaumont has 3 football lifting periods with 9 coaches who are employed on campus at the high school. Redlands Unified has 2 football periods for every school. We still have 0 football classes and only 1 coach on campus other than myself. We only receive 7 total football coaching stipends, while San Bernardino School District, which is where I came from, gets 10. What ultimately kept me here wasn't the administration. They're honestly the main reason I'm disappointed. It was the players. They told me they didn't want me to leave, but they understood why I might consider it, because they see the same lack of support that I do, and it's always been that way. They wanted me to quote that. That was a quote from our quarterback. It's always been that way here. A lack of support for athletics. Again, they deserve better. They deserve leadership that actually steps up and does their job to support them the way other schools support their student athletes.
Angelica Lyons.
Good evening, President Ruiz and distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and Banning community members. My name is Angelica Lyons. I'm here tonight to speak in support of weightlifting class for football players at Banning High. I want to start by giving you some things I found with a quick Google search. The National Strength and Conditioning Association says that structured off-season weight training plays a crucial role in injury prevention. The National Academy of Sports Medicine advocate for the importance of youth training during off-season. Off-season training isn't only about physical training, it's also about mental training. During the off-season, this helps foster a mindset that thrives on challenges and adversity. Without off-season training, athletes can lose strength with a potential loss of 3% of strength per week after detraining begins. Neighboring towns already understand the importance of weightlifting for student athletes. When you become an athlete, you're automatically enrolled in weightlifting class. Other schools understand the importance of building a great athletic program to ensure students stay enrolled and don't go looking for new and better opportunities in different school districts. I agree that students should be students for athletes, but it's also important, and you cannot deny how important athletic programs are to ensure students stay enrolled at Banning Unified. I know of several students have left this district to seek better opportunities in other districts who take their athletic programs more seriously and invest into their programs to build a thriving athletic program. I've been volunteering for a little over 2 years, and I'm committed to building a great football program and providing better opportunities for our players. I am now asking Banning Unified School District to step up and partner with us to ensure student athletes at Banning High have every advantage possible to build a great athletic program at Banning High. I also have to add, support has been lacking. We have been met with obstacles. I myself have contemplated stepping away several times. If I can't have the support that is needed, what's the point? And again, students, every time I show up, hi, Miss Angelica, they ensure me and they keep me here. That is the only reason why I've stuck around, because the amount of pushback that has happened
has made anybody want to quit. And that's not just me, it's several booster members as well. Together, our boosters have raised over $100,000 for Banning School District. And we want to continue that support, but we also need the support back. Thank you.
Renee Torres.
Good evening, President Ruiz, esteemed cabinet, board cabinet, Superintendent Davis, and administrative cabinet, sorry. I'm Renee Torres. I'm the vice president of the Banning Broncos Marching Regiment Boosters, and I am delighted to announce that your Banning Broncos Marching Regiment has advanced to the semifinals with a high chance of advancing to state, currently ranking at 5th in the Division 1A for Southern California State Band Competitionship. I'm proud. We have proudly brought home, after 4 competitions, 4 gold trophies, 3 high auxiliary awards, and 4 high percussion awards. It's been a while and been a few years since we've advanced this high in this district. At the moment, At the moment, possibility, it's anything is possible for these students, and they're competing against schools in the IE and southern and other counties from San Diego County to Imperial County. This is going to be really big. These students are feeling the pressure. They're feeling they're feeling that they're away and they're alone, but they're trying. They're really doing good. For those, we may have, I'm getting a little hard to read on this right here. All right. Okay, well, with the pressure of all this, the band has only 3 minutes. If you have never been to a competition before, they have to be on the field within 3 minutes. On, set up, and then they begin with not only followed with the intricate formations, with playing without breath, without losing their breath, radiating presence, and performing at their heart, with all their hearts, and loud and immense pride. And all that, also they can make sure they bring back what they have brought, and they've done really well. I'm proud of them for that. Also, let's not forget our band Color Guard girls dancing with grace, flying our school's flags with pride, and aiming to win those auxiliary awards as well. So they're doing really great. With all this excitement, we ask everyone in this room, or at least online, if anybody's watching right now, that from our Banning Bronco fans to our alumni to our staff, we could really use some attendance in these events that are coming up. The band boosters have put up a social media account, so that if you want to find out where these events are, we would be glad to have some support in those stands, because those bandstands are very packed with other schools, and they come with impacts. They come in trucks, they come in U-Hauls, they come in semis. I'm serious. We have 1 trailer, they have 5, and they have even a semi. They come in with a whole family full of everybody wanting to just come in and spectate, and that's the best part, is that these kids are really trying to look in the crowd, and I'm hoping we can have somebody come in for this coming November 22nd. It's going to be in Whittier, California. So we're really hoping we can get not only just anybody that's staff, but at least some alumni, parents, family, friends, anybody who really wants to see these kids make it to state. This is what we really need. We need some support. We need real people support on this one. And in conclusion, the students wanted to make sure they said expressions of gratitude to the nutrition services of Banning High School for sending them away with some meals to go over there to get there. We're bringing in the snacks and all that good stuff as well. So it's just a matter of they're in between comps. They're eating when they're not competing. They're eating right after. So anything, they're always appreciative of all that stuff. So they wanted me to let you know that. Any support, anybody wants to come over, follow the Instagram account. You'll give you all the details for this coming up. It's not this weekend since there's rain coming up. So I think I'm about to be ended right now. Yeah, so that's about it. Go Broncos. Let's hope we can get some support from all of our people.
Item 2, closed session. The board will now go into closed session. The time is 6:00 PM. We are back from closed session. The time is 7:34. Clerk Anguiano, please take roll.
Trustee Martinez Lara,
Present.
Trustee Novales,
Present.
Trustee Troutman,
Present.
President Ruiz,
Present.
Clerk Anguiano is present. Please let the record reflect that we have a quorum.
Item 3.1, report from closed session. Clerk Anguiano, please share.
Item 2.1, Student Matters. In closed session, the Board of Trustees approved the readmission of high school student case number 2023-24-26. The student will be reinstated to the New Horizon High School. Motion was made by Trustee Troutman, seconded by Trustee Novales, and carried on a 5-0 vote. Item 2.2, in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.3, in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.4, in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.5, in closed session, the board received information and was updated.
Item 3.2, opportunity for community comments, open session items. Have we received any community comments?
No comments.
Item 3.3, BTA comments. I would like to welcome BTA President Anthony Garcia.
I've been working closely with Kirk, the new HR person in the district for a few months, for about a month now. And I've seen some real positive changes. I'm very hopeful that we can work through a lot of the issues that we had last year. And we have negotiations coming up on the 19th, and I'm hoping that we can close that out last year. Thank you.
Item 3.4, CSEA comments. I would like to welcome CSEA President Jennifer Serrano.
Good evening, Jennifer Serrano, President of Banning Chapter 147 CSCA. As Anthony said, we are also working with Mr. Skorpanich to work out our differences, and I already see a big difference working with Kirk. He did give us opportunities to be part of some procedures that he's putting in place, so I really appreciate that. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Item 4.1, we're going to skip. Just kidding. Item 4.1, superintendent's comments.
Most people would be really excited about that. So good evening, Madam President, or I'm sorry, President Ruiz, members of the board and our community. Just a few things to share and report. I want to talk about fall sports since our fall sports season has concluded. And I want to remind people that, and it was said that there's sports at Nicollet, there's sports at Coombs, and there's sports at Banning High School. And so just an update and maybe a recap. Boys cross country and girls cross country had great seasons. And actually girls cross country, they won league this year, which is great. And there were a bunch of individual qualifiers for CIF, so that's great. Girls volleyball and girls tennis had a great season. And tennis won league for the first time. So they deserve great shout outs. Second year, yes, give them a great shout out. Making CIF is a big deal. Second year of flag football, they had a great season this year, and that sport is up and coming. Was able to get to one game. I'd like to get to more, but excited to see them. And our football team last Friday was in the playoff game for CIF, and they have back-to-back league champions. So that is awesome news. Great for that team. And I talked to Mr. Mason today about the team just to get some input. And he said at the football game, there were just shy of 1,200 people at that football game. And he said that was probably the most people that we've had at a sporting event in a long, long time. So our community is showing up for our folks. But I would be remiss in not saying this, is that I just really want to give a shout out to some people who were never really talked about. Our coaches, our trainers, the booster clubs, the media class, the announcers, the volunteers. Sports take on a whole nother task. And I don't know, some of you guys are parents out there who have students that play sports starting for little, and they get older and older. It takes all of you and your family to make that happen. Unfortunately, students come home late at night, they're tired, but they do it all to continue to play sports, which builds their development for life. So I just want to thank all of the people who were involved in making those things happen. Thank you. But there's a couple groups that I never really talk about. And these two groups are Cheer, who are always there for support. And that group has always been there, and they're getting bigger and bigger, and their competition season will be coming up soon. And the other group is Band, that was talked a little bit about tonight. I don't know who talked about Band, but it was Mr. Torres. They have several first place awards, including their color guard led by our band director, Mr. TJ. So just want to thank their boosters and their families as well, because it takes everyone to make things happen. Everyone to make things happen. So I just want to congratulate our fall sports and looking forward to our winter sports. Finally, I want to talk about academics, because that's what our shift has been, shifting to academics. And I want to say that we have been out in classrooms more than we ever have. We're out for data chats, we're out for learning walks, and I see a different type of buzz. I see a different type of incitement in our classrooms, because it's a little bit of a change and a shift. And this is what I will say. Although we have dedicated educators that have always been here and tried to do their best for several years, I want to say almost 20 years, the clear focus was not academics. It wasn't. It was a lot of different things. That didn't mean academics was happening, but there's a clear shift with academics. And this is what I want to say about it, is that we're now looking at metrics. And that's not to scare anybody. That's not to say, oh, we're looking at what you're doing. If we don't look at data and we don't look at metrics, we don't know where we are and we don't know where we're going. But I want to bring up something that happened, because change is hard. Sometimes we get things from the state. They say, hey, now you have to do this assessment. Now you have to do this program. Well, sometimes those programs, and most of the time, they don't come with additional funds, but it's still something that we have to do. Recently, we have a screener that came in that we have to screen all students from kinder to second grade to look at maybe they have learning disabilities or challenges in reading. And I think that's a great thing to do. But one of the things that happened is that puts additional stress on the system. It puts additional stress on teachers. And so that wasn't things that Terrence Davis created or anyone here. That came from the state. And so when those things happen, if we are listening, if we're listening to teachers and if we're listening to staff, then we have to adjust. We have to slow things down. We have to maybe delay things, and that's what we're doing. That's not about the union coming to the district saying, hey, you need to do something. That's about us listening and finding out what's happening and figuring out what we need to do different. So I just ask you for your patience and your understanding. Nothing happens overnight, but we don't want to force things down people's throat either. That's not a good way to lead. So I just want to share, we're always listening. If you have a problem, if you have a concern, talk to your supervisor first, not the board. Talk to your supervisor. If you're not getting that information, go to the next step. But our job is to listen and try to make things better in a very complicated system, because it takes all of us. Finally, I just want to say what we are doing as a district is making a difference. It is every single day for our students. It's clear that I see it. It's clear that the board sees it. It's clear that some of you see it, and people outside of our community see what we're doing in our district. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud to be a part of that we're doing for our district. There was some mention about Kirk earlier, working with Kirk. And this is what I said about HR and Kirk. Before Kirk even got here, I said that Kirk would run circles around me and, be in the sand running because he has that knowledge and experience. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring the best people to our district to support our students, and that's what we're doing. So I want to thank everybody for their support and the board for their continued understanding and that push that we need to get better. So thank you.
Item 5, consent calendar.
The recommendation is to approve consent calendar agenda items 5.2 through 5.4 as provided. All matters listed under the consent calendar agenda are considered to be routine and enacted by one motion and vote. There is no separate discussion of these items prior to the time the Board of Trustees considers the motion, unless a member of the board or administrative staff requests that specific items be discussed and/or removed.
Do we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar agenda as provided?
I move.
I'll second.
I have a motion from trustee Troutman and a second from trustee Novales. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. Item 6.1, Cabazon Elementary School presentation. I would like to invite Dr. Anderson and team to share tonight's presentation.
You good? We can see it? Okay, perfect. All right, test. All right. Good evening, Board President Reese, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. Hi, I'm Ricky Anderson, Dr. Ricky Anderson, the proud principal at Cabazon Elementary School, and I'm here to talk about all the wonderful things going on at Cabazon Elementary School. So we'll start off with the mission statement for the Banning Unified School District. Is a diverse community that collaborates to develop responsible, respectful, and prepared students to achieve their full potential. And, oops. Our vision is to prepare, inspire, and educate. And that's our guiding force at Cabazon and all the schools in the district. And our district-wide goals, and this is also incorporates the SIPSA that we've been doing as well that you're going to take a look at. Our district-wide goals, accelerating student achievement, cultivating safe and healthy learning environments, and also increasing parent and community engagement. Oh. And then you get to take a picture of the new playground here at Cabazon. Kudos to Ken and Victor and the team. Great work. And what's new around the campus? As I said, the playground, we have a new play structure. We have the spider, and it's just the facilities look great. Great summertime project. Like I said, kudos to Ken, Victor, and all your work. We also have new carpets in the classrooms, so it's great. Great facilities. New staff, we have Ms. Carlson here, who we now have full-time, which is I'm so glad to have, so kudos to having her. We also have Coach Silva, too, who took on our coaching job for PE at our site. We also have a new reading incentive, and I'll go into it a little bit more, to encourage the kids in reading, doing for their AR points. Also, including reading recess options, we kind of took a look at how to get more kids engaged, avoid fights, and get them more active and doing other stuff at the school site. So recent events, we had our carnival as well as our parade. Also, we just finished Red Ribbon Week, and so here we have students with the shades and too cool for school. And then we also had our STEAM Day. So we have Miss Cash in one of her classes doing a STEAM activity for the students. So for STEAM Day, each class had a STEAM activity for the kids to rotate through. So that was kind of a grade level thing. So it was really cool. The kids were excited to do some hands-on learning. When you go to Cabazon, when you start off the year, we have a kinder signing day where you sign up to be an official dino. So here we have our first year kindergartners signing up and being an official dino. One of the things that we talked about was trying to get the kids encouraged to reading, and so we came up as a group as far as a Route 66 challenge. I know Ms. Arnold had brought it to the table, and so what we did was we took what we had originally with AR, where we have T-shirts and certificates, And so we had them as stops on the Route 66. And so as the kids keep on reading, they move along Route 66 and also get a prize for that. So we have activities for them to do. We currently just have a 5th grader who already reached 1 million words. So that was the first time there that I've had 1 million readers. So we hope to have a little bit more this year. So a really fun activity for them to do, an incentive for the kids to read. We are an AVID school, so we focus on organization and also the higher level thinking skills. And then we make sure that we incorporate all of our our parent nights focus on AVID strategies and highlighting our success as an AVID school. Sorry, Kaiser, I had to put this up here. I didn't know you were coming. So we do have a positive behavior intervention support for PBIS, and we have PBIS assemblies where we highlight, celebrate the kids' birthdays, but also highlight expectations to be met. And one of my favorite shows growing up was Double Dare. So we have the kids participate against the teachers. And so we have dance activities and some types of games that the kids play with the teachers. We celebrate the Dinos of the Month, who's focused on PBIS as well as AVID. And the Dinos of the Month get to spin a wheel, or we have Plinko, and then they get to choose a prize as well. And as a collective whole, we have a PBIS Passport Day where they go to each station, and each member, like for example, our custodian talks about the bathrooms, our food nutrition, Mr. Renee, talks about expectations in the cafeteria. And so as a collective whole, every trimester, except for the 3rd one, we go over what's expected at our school and just kind of how we meet our expectations. So it's just kind of letting everybody know what's expected of them. This is one of the key points I think has made us successful, as well as the team. Cabazon does a great job of doing, and this is at all schools too, so it's not just at Cabazon, but at our school, Tier 2 and Tier 3 supports are very important. Finding those students who need extra supports, additional supports. We have a monthly meeting, which consists of the SEI teacher, as well as the school counselor and the PBIS coordinator. And we take a look at those kids who we need to target and focus on so we can get them additional support. And if we have to use outside resources, we do that as well. But like I said, it's not just at Cabazon, it's also at the other schools in the Banning Unified School District. So alternative to recess, we did have a conversation of just like, how can we lower suspensions, or how can we get the kids not just being into mischief in recess time? So we talked about ideas of how, because we were blessed with having more staff, is how we can utilize those people to give them more activity. So we do have a makerspace, a wellness center, intramurals with our coach, Dino Patrol, as well as a 100-mile club. Makerspace is a place where it's a roommate, and our intervention ladies, Ms. Renee and Ms. Arnold, they allow the students to build, create, and do various things so that they can utilize just their hands. It's hands-on learning, hardly any electronics. And I know Renee went to a Makerspace convention, and we hope to have like a 3D printer and some robotics going on over there. So the kids love it, and they have a chance to go during their recess time. Wellness Center, this is with our counselor, Jenica Barajas, and thanks to Moises and his grant, we have a lot of stuff that we utilize to get kids in, have a calming corner, have various things, hands-on learning, and so we have a great space for the kids to go to at recess time. So just to find a place that they can find their niche and kind of be a part of something. We utilized our coach that we have, and we have intramurals. And so he's been doing football, kickball, soccer, dodgeball, which has been a huge hit on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the kids really enjoy being a part of the team. We do have a Dino Patrol, as well as Miss Arnold is doing a 100-mile club, and I said that correctly, 100-mile club. So making sure that they do their laps, and once they get like 10 laps, then they get a little trinket, a little toy, a little toe trinket to symbolize that they've done 10 laps. And we'll recognize those winners at our trimester awards. We do focus on college and career readiness, and we also focus on college strategies. Avid Wednesdays are the days that we wear our college shirts, Avid shirts, vocational schools, and also college colors. We do have a virtual field trip that we go to every college that is recognized. So for example, if we went to University of Redlands, they take a virtual field trip on YouTube to University of Redlands. We focus on rigor, and one thing that I've brought to the site is the Evening of Excellence, where we have a day, usually we're gonna have ours in December, where we highlight those students who scored either standard met or standard exceeded on the CAST test. But we also like to have that growth mindset. So these are also the students who grew within a band. So not necessarily the greens and blues, but those students who grew within like the reds to yellows. So we're still highlighting growth. And if you step into our NPR, we're heavily decorated in college and career. And our counselor, Jenica Barajas, created a very cool mural about our student pathways wall. And we'll be setting up a career day, so you're welcome to come on that day. We're gonna highlight different careers for the students to check out. Our library, I like to call it the jewel of the district just because it's so massive and it's so well done. Our LMS, Miss Angela, does a great job. I know she had a couple of teachers come out and they created a mural. And then we also utilized our display cases. So this year we're trying to get teachers to do like a theme for the month. I know I did this one where we did just fossils, just highlighting various things from the Ice Age. And then Ms. Kaiser created that wonderful mural right there, and we're gonna try to highlight some of the art going on at the school. Parent involvement, what we do is we do AVID-related activities, and then Renee Miller also brought back post-COVID the talent show, which has been a success at our site. And we just finished our Veterans Day, and Angel, you captured that. And upcoming is our Christmas performance, and you get to see all of Cabazon come on out. It's chilly, but it's also great to see all the families. Turkey Trot is next week, and then we have the Morongo Outreach Program, and like I said, the Evening of Excellence is coming in December. Closing out the year in Cabazon, we have a wonderful promotion. It's various themes, and so we celebrate our kinders and our fifth. And Mr. Valdivia, and Art has done this as well, continued on with the Legacy Walk, which is just a wonderful thing to see. And we at Cabazon do something special for our Cabazon Dinos. And so it's always a hit every single year. Taking a look at the data, here's what we had from last year to this year. As you can see, we grew with standards met and standards exceeded from 35% to 36%. And then in mathematics, from 20% to 23%. So we highlighted, we actually grew from last year. Here's the breakdown of the percentages. Overall, third grade had 33% that were English language arts that were either standards met or standards exceeded. Mathematics, 35%. Fourth grade, 32%. And then mathematics, 27%. Sorry. English language arts in fifth grade, we have 41%, and then mathematics, 9%. So that's an area that's still a continued growth, and I think that's district-wide, but I feel like the Irvine Math Project is gonna help us out with that. Just getting the kids more of the application process. And then science, we grew with 22%. One of the things I wanna highlight before I close is what you don't see in the data is the growth. And it's kudos to our teachers, third, fourth, fifth, but also all the way down, just the work that they've done. In the 3 years I've been there, fourth grade has 95 students who have grown in ELA. That's either from below basic to basic, and then also in mathematics, you had 105 students in math growth. So that's kudos to our fourth grade teachers. And I know, Juanita, you're one of those teachers. They're hardworking teachers, and it's just across the board. Everybody's pulling together, and it's just the stuff you don't see, because you always see standards met or standards exceeded, but you don't see the growth that the kids have been doing. And it's true for fifth grade as well. For the 3 years I've been there, 108 kids in ELA have grown and 74 kids in math. So overall, our goals for this year is just to continue the collaboration and AVID strategies, enrich the school with college and career readiness days, a career day, and then continue with the options for recess so students gain a sense of community, and then just improving our academic scores in mathematics. And I think going to those trainings for Irvine Math Project is going to help us with that. And then increase in parent involvement. And then Ms. Carlson has been putting out there in Parent Square the Dino Roar, which is a nice weekly update on what's going on with cool pictures too. So that's Cabazon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions?
Do you have questions?
Anyone have a question? Comments? No? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Item 6.2, student services before and after school programs presentation. I would like to invite Dr. Merlos to share tonight's presentation.
Good evening, Board President Reese, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Davis, colleagues, and community that's here tonight. It's a pleasure to be up here once again at the podium to present to you a little bit about our expanded learning programs. Now, as with all of our programs and our jobs here with Banning Unified, our goal is to support our mission, our vision, our values, and of course, our district goals and board priorities. And again, they're all interrelated, and as we shift to a focus on instruction, I can tell you that our expanded learning programs are at the forefront of supporting that goal as well. Just to give a little bit of background, the expanded learning programs, it's a really broad term. And just 5 years ago, we really focused on just maybe 1 or 2 grants that are state provided. But over the last few years, we have had an increase in funding. And we've seen this because the research shows the importance of having those programs. So now we have multiple funding sources. Here in Banning Unified, we have 2 major grants, the ELOP grant, which I won't really touch too much on that, and our ACES grant. And that's the one that we're really gonna focus on today. Now, I wanted to show you this graphic because ELOP is a fairly large funding source, and ELOP does fund the bulk of our expanded learning programs, such as our TK and kindergarten full day support, our tutoring, Saturday Academy, Summer Academy, and then all of our before school programs, where the ACES program really focuses on funding the after school program. And then we supplement that with ELOP. And we do that because we did not want to turn away any kids. So when we exhaust the ACES funding, then ELOP takes over. And we have a really good system to make sure that we stay within budget, that we really support the instructional program. And again, this presentation really focuses on the after-school program, but know that we have a plethora of programs for our kids that are going to be supporting the instructional program. Now, this slide is very loaded. I'm not going to read it line by line, but what I'm trying to emphasize here is that the research shows that the expanded programs really support the instructional program because it really supports the whole child. Again, it improves academic outcomes, it promotes equity and access, and most importantly, it develops 21st century skills. And Dr. Anderson actually touched on this, that giving kids context to what they're learning within the curriculum is key to learning. And the expanded learning program is really prioritizing that within the activities that I'll touch on in a little bit as well. So our presentation, I try to put a lot of pictures in our presentations because I want you to see and our community to see what our kids are actually doing. And the emphasis of the after-school program is to really provide students with those enrichment opportunities, that application piece, that yes, they're learning math, they're learning how to read during the regular school day, but when they come to the after-school program, they're putting those skills into practice. And that adds context, which turns into student learning, it turns into inquiry, and it turns into really supporting the whole child, not just for that particular grade level, but as they grow through our system, which now it's a preschool through 12th grade. Here, one of the things that I do want to emphasize with our ACES grant is that it is adjusted yearly, which once again, the fact that we have ELOP really helps us ensure that these programs will continue to go on regardless of what happens with the ACES grant. In addition, when it comes to the instructional program, we have set a lot more structure starting this school year. We started shifting a little bit last year, but the expectation is that there is homework support every day in every after-school program. There's also enrichment that focuses on STEM, on the arts, on music, on sports, on leadership, including social emotional. We provide snacks. And again, all of these supports are intended to ensure that our kids are learning. This year, one of the biggest shifts is that we now have 2 service providers. We have our Boys and Girls Club that have been with us for a long time, and then we brought in a new program that's called Right at School, and they're servicing some of our schools, and I will touch on the differences in a little bit. But overall, this is a very generic of what a regular day should look like in the after-school program. Now, keep in mind that we have 4 very different elementary schools and 1 middle school that have different facilities, different staff, and so forth. So in some regards, there's always a sign-in, check-in procedures. There's always a sign-out, check-out procedures. There's always a supper. There's always a snack in there. There's always tutoring. There's always some type of activity. At some schools, these are happening at the same time in rotations, for example, and that really has to do with the facilities that we have. So you may have a group doing tutoring. You may have a group outside doing the outdoor activities. You may have another group doing some type of STEM activity someplace else. And they rotate. In other schools, it actually goes very linear. They're all doing tutoring, then they all go to the activity, and it depends on the size. And the size is really important because we have some schools that have, on average, about 40 to 50 kids showing up, and then we have another school that has 130 kids showing up every day. So we have to make adjustments to ensure that we're really supporting the learning. Again, here the key is the learning. And you can see by the pictures there that the activities are really focused on supporting our academic standards, which is, it's a bit of a shift for this year. Now, along with shifting what we're doing within the program, we are also creating some really nice graphics, some standardizing our systems to recruit, to retain, to ensure that our parents who, let's say our kids aren't showing up every day, we're making phone calls. So what you see there on the left is actually part of our flyer that we designed this year, just to show our parents what our program's offerings are. And we did it this way because we have siblings that might be at different schools, different models, and so forth. And next year, I can tell you that we are now looking at including our high school with a similar program. And actually, I shouldn't say next year, next calendar year, because right now we're working with a company that's going to be going to board, I believe, at the next board meeting for their contract, so we can try an after-school program at the high school. And of course, that's going to look a little different. We're talking working on college and careers. We're talking about completing the FAFSA, and we're going to get our counselors involved. So a lot of exciting things that, even though this graphic looks very busy, it's going to get even more busy. And mind you, this is just before and after school. There's a lot more happening within our districts that are going to be supporting student learning. So what are our next steps? The big one is the first one, progress monitoring. We are emphasizing student learning. We are emphasizing ensuring that our programs are really meeting the needs of our kids. And we are making adjustments. Again, we brought in a new partner. We're bringing in another partner. We've made some personnel changes already. We made some structural changes already. We're dealing with any and everything that comes from the sites. We're really working with our principals. Our principals have a direct line to our partners, so that way they can address concerns. So that way our principals are really the ones that are driving what the program looks like at their school. Because again, our after-school programs need to support our schools. We will continue to ensure that it is aligned to our instructional program. We're going to continue to promote the program because we want to ensure that we have more and more kids participating. I don't have the exact numbers, but I can tell you that this year we have over 150 kids participating overall. So we have a lot more enrollment. Our average daily attendance, basically the number of kids that are showing up daily, has increased as well too. And again, it's for a lot of different factors, which again, the participation rate is huge for us. What I will do over the course of this year is that we're going to be doing some data runs. We want to see how our kids that are participating on an ongoing basis in our after-school program are doing compared to the kids that are not. Because I want to be able to see that data so I can share with you, and again, help us make adjustments. And not only the data on how they're doing versus their peers, but also where can we support them in the after schools. So if we see that literacy is still a concern with the kids that are showing up in the after school program, then we're going to ensure that we're putting a little bit more literacy into that particular program. So that is going to be extremely important, but that will come later on in the school year. And I believe that is it.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Merlos. I do have a couple of questions. When you're talking about the data and you're saying children that attend and children that don't attend, are you looking at children that didn't attend the year before and comparing their data with how they're doing in the program? Because I don't know, I mean, looking at children that don't and children that do, it's hard to compare children, but are you comparing children from the year before? Like, let's say that they didn't go and they're going now?
We will. It's just that when you do data runs like that, for example, now that we have two providers to compare apples, for example, last year we will look at Cabazon kids versus this year's Cabazon kids because they have the same provider. So now we can really look and see how the program has improved. So doing both data analysis are going to benefit us.
Okay, thank you. The other thing too is you were talking about the high school. The funding for that partner, is that part of ACES or are you looking at other funding?
The high school will be funded out of ELOP.
Okay.
And that's because the ACES grant is specific to those schools that we applied for the grant many years ago, which is mainly really our 4 elementary schools and our middle school. And that grant was intended for that grade level as well. The programs that are being offered at Florida Street, for example, they're all being paid out of ELOP because they're not part of the ACES grant as well.
Okay, so I'm looking at high school. Are you looking at any, I guess, a more serious look at this, a STEM portion of that?
Yes.
And-
So the high school program, we're going to interject some high school specific items, but the instructional piece will also be intact. And STEM, the application of mathematics, the application of literacy, all of those components will still be part of the program too.
And that'll be a little more rigorous, right?
Most definitely. And that's the goal.
Okay, thank you.
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
In regards to the sign out for our students that participate in the after-school programs, is it staggered sign out times or is it set at 6 o'clock?
So we have added a level of flexibility. And again, part of it is that we want to make sure that we support our families as well. Now, we don't allow in and out anytime. There's certain times at Central, for example, there's certain times that parents can come in and pick up their kids. But we also know that things come up. And if those things come up, it's okay. It just can't be that every other day I'm picking you up at 3:15 and another day at 3:45. So it can't be all over the place because we do expect some very specific checkout procedures, which we have addressed as well. But again, it can't just be free willy that you can pick up your kid every time or any time during that 3-hour window. So we do have some windows that parents can come in. But again, if life happens, parent can come in. No different than during the regular school that you have to pull your kid out. It just can't be the norm. Dr.
Merlos, with ACES grant dollars, it used to be this way, I don't know if it's the same, where there is a mandatory time that you can't pick your student up prior to. Is that still the case?
So it used to be that way. So when the ACES grant was first provided, kids enrolled in the program had to be there for 3 hours. If they were not there for 3 hours, you couldn't take them into account. So that's where a lot of those very rigid rules came up. As ELOP funding came in, then it became more of let's offer after-school programs that are rich in the instructional piece, but let's also understand that life will happen to our families. At one school, for example, we had a group of kids that was there after school for a good 45 minutes for A, B, or C reasons. Instead of those kids just sitting outside doing whatever, now they're part of the after-school program for those 45 minutes. We ensure that they get their homework done, they get some enrichment. But again, it's a structured program that, again, is not as rigid as it used to be. Now, for our purposes, we would love for our kids to be there for 3 hours every single day, and most are. But we do have the flexibility to be able to get them home whenever they need to be home.
I'm glad that there's flexibility and it's less rigid because even our elementary students do sports and have their practices and their activities. And that's not every day. But I'm glad that you guys have that flexibility because it wasn't there when my kiddo was in it.
Yeah, we definitely do now.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
You briefly brought up about bringing an after-school program to the high schools. Um, I guess my question would be, you mentioned that it would be going over FAFSA and college applications, assistance with that for students. What about the students that take busing as their transportation home? Like, are our counselors at the high school assisting students with those?
Yes, yes. So counseling is where this Fajabi and I are double teaming our counselors. That should be something standard that we're doing, and those are some of the systems that we're working on. Same thing with submitting college applications as well. But those are systems that we're building right now. But the goal is to bring in as many supports as possible. So again, the after-school program, especially this, I would call it a pilot for next semester. It really is to see what this company can do for us because we do see that they're providing services at other districts and it looks really good. And it may be the basis, but our counselors will be active participants with that as well too.
I do know that counselors are starting that at at least the junior level, because my son was telling me his counselor had reached out to ask him if he needed assistance with college applications or FAFSA, which I thought was great because I know that was a concern that we had had before, but I'm glad to see and hear that it's being addressed earlier. I was very
Yes.
happy about that.
And the goal, and again, being a former high school principal, I can tell you that having a system that brings them in from ninth grade all the way up to 12th grade, where ninth grade, it may just be that they're completing career surveys to see what they're really good at or what they like. And then you build from there. They start looking at colleges, they're looking at requirements. So it all has to do with not just the FAFSA, but also becoming A through G eligible. You know, we're working on getting our courses A through G approved. So it's a whole system that we're building.
Right. I just think it's really good that we're expanding that so all students can have that opportunity if they need assistance with whatever they might need help with.
That's the goal.
Great.
And the one thing I just want to add that the board brought to my attention about driver's ed. So in this contract, that's something that we've talked about with this company. They may be able to bring support to do driver's ed after school as well. So just trying to encompass everything to give our students that additional support.
Yeah, driver's ed is part of that contract. Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And board, thank you for your support.
Okay. Item 6.3, Maintenance Facilities, Operations, and Transportation Presentation. I would like to invite Mr. Ingrassi to share tonight's presentation, but that's Mr. Herrera.
Be a collaborative effort today. Hope you guys got a couple hours. We'll get through this. Well, great evening, President Reese, Clerk Anguiano, distinguished board members, members of the Banning Unified School District leadership, and those participating today here in person and through the wavelengths listening to our broadcast. Today, I have the pleasure of presenting an update on the maintenance operations and also the facilities and transportation department. So I do like to say that within our classified membership, they are the operational support backbone of our district overall, supporting teachers in the classroom to then support students to be prepared, to be inspired, and to be educated. Here we have a quick overview of the various functions within the department. And it is really an homage to the classified members, 71 employees supporting each one of these capacities here. And so without really going into the details here, because Mr. Ingrassi has great depth knowledge here of the department, I'm gonna hand it off to the Director of Maintenance and Operations.
So this is a really simple concept, but so custodial, our main goal is a clean, safe, secure environment for every site on all our campuses. Maintenance is we do ongoing work orders, we do repairs, we have to do new construction, but minor, because, with our group, we can only do so much. We also, our maintenance department, I have to give them hands. We've taken some special ed things and we've done some real good by, rebuilding classrooms for them. And like at Nicolette. Our grounds department, we do a lot of weed abatement, landscape, exterior, environmental management. The biggest problem that we've had here is our weed abatement. And we've been really working hard on that. We redid a new program with it. We're working with the environmental, so they gave us also new chemicals, which, with the environmental safe, they're not as good as they used to be. So we've managed to buy new equipment. So it's helping us get through the departments, being able to cut down in our rentals and be able to get done and do the work ourselves. Fleet maintenance is basically the repairs that are done by the transmission or the transportation department. That's our mechanics. We have a lead mechanic and we have a regular mechanic. Our goal is to keep all our vehicles running top notch so that we can get our kids to school on time and be able to transport for field trips, which we've done a really good job with field trips. We've turned it around. I don't think we've even missed one yet this year, but we're hoping to keep that record going. Warehouse, we used to do housing in the warehouse. So we used to get everything delivered to the warehouse and then we would pack orders, like if your custodial supplies, and have them all brought in and then we'd ship them out to the sites. Now we have a direct program where their stuff is delivered to the sites. Our warehouse is the receiving and distribution center. We've redone the whole interior. We've made palletized now. We can store more and move more equipment in and out. We do a lot with books at the beginning of the year. Our friends in IT have plenty of good things that they need us to hold on to and to help them deliver. And now, transportation, my favorite one. This is all new to me, and I've been doing it since the beginning of school, kind of getting to like it a little bit. My goal is to get the kids to school on time and safe, and make sure all field trips and athletics are covered. And like I said, we've done a pretty good job this year so far, and we're going to continue to do so as long as we got the resources we need. Facilities, major facility projects. So the difference between maintenance and facilities is facilities do the main projects, re-roofing, a lot like Nicolette Gym, or remodeling the gym. That's all being done by facilities. Outside maintenance, we do a lot. We do maintenance. So the facilities and infrastructures outside are done by outside sources. So how do I change this? Okay, good old custodial equipment. I hope you guys got to get out and see our new dispensers. So we have they all have the site logos on them. And they are the white ones. At first, they did a misprint, so they did them all in white, which we had to live with that for a little bit. But now they reprinted the white ones are hand sanitizer, and the black ones are in the bathrooms for hand soap. So we've been able to do. We've maintained many routes on all our sites. Mid-shift routes, summer schedule of deep cleaning. We've done a whole new program with that. We have done, so my motto is in a classroom, as long as it's emptied, it needs to be done top to bottom. And that's the way we've done it for the last couple of years. And it seems it's getting better and better every year. At first, a lot of teachers don't like to take everything off the walls, stuff like that, but you know how that goes. They work with us after a while because they want their rooms clean. Trust me, I come from a family of teachers. And the equipment, we were able to buy plenty of new equipment for the sites. You got a couple pictures in there. One's a square auto scrubber, which was bought for the PAC Center to be able to get in and around the chairs, the backpacks we had got with our school colors and our logos on them. So, and then our chemical system. We have a brand new chemical system. We have done this one as of this year. This is it's 3 function chemicals, and it does a really good job for us. And I think I did a survey with the sites. Things are looking good for the cleaning part, and you can actually start smelling the chemicals instead of the dirt. Okay, grounds. We got new equipment there too. And as you can see, we got a couple new mowers. We got a tractor, be able to help us clean up. If you look at the pictures down below our fields, this is what some of our fields look like about a year ago. And if you can see up at the top right-hand side, that is Banning High School. That is one of the areas that we have aided and brought back. And we've done major irrigation over there, weed abatements, and we have 3 teams and we rotate now. We don't have anybody stay at one site. So we have teams that go site to site to service the sites every day. Maintenance, routine maintenance. So we've done classroom sightings over the summer. You guys have seen some of the woodwork that has been replaced, the carpet replacement at Cabazon. Typically, when a whole school's done, it's a facilities project, but we had gotten into a situation where maintenance, we had a couple rooms where the carpet was having issues, so I brought in the manufacturer, and the manufacturer, we worked it out where they were able to help us out and do the whole school at Cabazon at a discounted price. Of course, they don't give anything free anymore. We do a lot of emergency repairs, plumbing, electrical here, students and staff safety projects. So a lot of our doors are being changed on a regular basis as needed. Gates I'm working with security uh, to replace the gates. And some of them we've talked about having them electric. And we're working on those things. Over the summer, we have put in emergency storage containers at every site now. So they all have their emergency containers. The perimeter and interior fencing is complete. We finished that this summer. And Nicollet Middle School, we remodeled the kitchen. Our team did it, and then we had a contractor put in a flooring in there, which the flooring's not complete because we're waiting on, the nutrition department has some more equipment coming. So we'll finalize that during Christmas break. So that one should be completed. We're working on the professional development up at Coombs. It's a new space that we are working on. We're slowly getting there, but that's all being done in-house. So we're working it as we go. So the warehouse, we reorganized the warehouse. As I told you, we went from having everything, nowhere to move in there when I got there, and we redesigned and made pallet shelving, and we now distribute there on a regular basis. Food service has a section, and now our receiving has their own section. We get a lot of textbooks in at the beginning of the year. And the rooms, student Chromebooks are plenty, we have plenty left in there too. But Steve's working on getting that out of there. And our obsolete equipment assessment manager, we're working with, everybody's teaming up and working on that to get it rolling and get it moving.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ingrassi, for a very comprehensive and thorough review of the various improvements within the department. And some of the supports that I've also been provided within facilities and transportation, as we currently do have a leave in the department, is working on making sure we're moving forward with the various facilities initiatives. So Mr. Ingrassi did touch base on a few. One that I want to highlight that we often don't take into consideration, and maybe until the next few days when it starts raining, it's roofing projects. We are now at about 99% complete with phase 3. We're at a total of $8.5 million in total roofing projects, and that has been in the span of the last 3.5 years or so. We're working on a last phase, which would take about a remaining 10%. And so I don't think I've ever said this or ever thought I would say this, but I'm actually looking forward to these rains coming up because it'll be a testament to the work so we can identify any additional challenges and or repairs needed for our roofing. Also, one of the other gems of our district, it's not just at Cabazon, we have some over at Nicollet Middle School as well, and this is the Nicollet Middle School gym has been completely renovated. We are almost ready to have a kind of a ribbon cutting ceremony, if you will. The floor was completely ripped and replaced, and I know one of our board members attended that walk through there. Painted completely 100%. They're working on some murals at the moment. The bleachers are in the process of getting delivered soon, and really looking forward to showcasing this facility to our community and, of course, the students of Nicollet Middle School. Another one of the projects that Dr. Anderson mentioned was the playgrounds have been replaced at most of the schools. We're still working on finalizing Hammerlin at the moment. Central still having to install the shade structure and some other equipment as well. HVAC is one of the largest concerns from an operational and overall facilities perspective. And there has been a lot of progress in a lot of areas in which we did not have any heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems, and of course, working through the other spaces that do not have that as well. In terms of transportation, and transportation is, of course, a critical component of the operations, not that any other isn't, is ensuring that we have students transported from home to school and from school to home. And so working through the implementation of the Tyler Technologies Traversa transportation system. In terms of the progress update, all the student validation and overall ridership has been collected. Route design was another critical component of the system implementation. Pilots work conducted in May, also in the summer, and working through the full integration with the support of the IT department and student services in making sure that the information is fully transported from, no pun intended here, from Aries into Tyler Technologies. And for the first time in Banning history, we do have information of ridership now in our Aries system and also in the Tyler Technology Traversa system as well. The next steps are working through the RFID student transportation pass, which you see a sample here over to the right. And thank you, Mr. Mead, for helping us with the design aspect of it. Also, Mr. Sheriff, and identifying the critical components that's required to be on the ID cards. That would require a full-on collaboration with our school sites and having the print job printed, outsourcing that, so that minimizes the impact on our classified membership, and just working through training on maintaining those ID cards for students. It'll be a phased-in process. Also, we do need some additional training refreshers for the drivers, and creating a student incentive program to create good habits in keeping those RFID cards and having those, again, to have students check in the bus, check out the bus, improving overall student safety. And the two last components that will be phased in later on in the process will be the parent portal, and also utilizing the system to keep track of students, again, for student safety, for field trips as well. All right, so upcoming projects, there's quite a few on the boilerplate here. Within maintenance, carpeting, flooring, siding, painting, classroom doors as well is usually kind of what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, ensuring that our classrooms are safe for students and staff. Within facilities overall, in terms of larger projects, Banning High School pool is on the list here. Also, HVAC replacements. We do have a lot of aging units. We want to make sure those don't break down, especially during this hot summer months. Safety and security overall, strong collaboration there with Mr. Sheriff and single points of entry. Halford, Nicollet, and Banning High School are very unique in the sense that they require a lot more design, architecture, going through the Division of State Architecture may be required on some of those projects as well, a little bit more robust than the other school sites. And also gate automation, as Mr. Ingrassi mentioned. And last but not least is working through then the next wave of requirements for electronic vehicle infrastructure within the transportation department. So with that, are there any questions?
Just one comment, if you can go back several slides to that hallway, not that I want to belabor anything, trust me, that one, no, yes, so that hallway picture there, I think we talked about, you know, when you open a door outwards, that kind of perforated line, I don't know if that's the right term, perforated, and working on that because that is a hazard. And even though this hallway looks very beautiful and very nice in real life as well, I think there's a way we can do that to make it nice, but that's the next kind of project that I just want to make sure is to note.
We just added something else to the list that we've talked about and making sure that it's on a priority list as well. Thank you.
And then just to add, make sure that that's district-wide,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
that that's done district-wide on all of our door floorings that may need it.
Absolutely.
And then one more question regarding transportation and the ID. Under your next steps, you have field trips. Is this ID only for like bus riders that use our school transportation to and from school? Or how does that work for our field trips? Or is that something that's going to be embedded in all school IDs that students have? Because all students go to field trips.
So that is a goal, to have a district policy for student IDs. I think it's been discussed here and also within our teams. However, it'll be a phased-in approach where only riders of the transportation services will first get the ID. So that's why we're first focusing on home to school. Then once we get to a point where we do have, say, a student incentive program, which the ID can then be used for various things. It's the incentives that they win points for and get, goodies for. Also, being able to check out a book in the library. Also being able to use the same card to then get their meals through the point of sale systems within our nutritional services department. So to answer your question, the approach to phase one is to just address the the students that are on their buses, and then looking at a district-wide policy in a phased-in process.
Okay, and then including sports, right? Since they're transported by us.
It'll be correct. So any extracurriculars, any trips, correct.
Okay, thank you.
And then I just want to make sure we emphasize that any maintenance that will be done that might disrupt the class is going to be done during a break.
That is always the goal. However, it is not always the reality. And I know that when we do plan on those projects is minimizing the impacts to the educational day. We do usually consult with the school leadership to walk through and see what would be the impacts and or work on alternatives. For example, at Hammerly Elementary with the current playground project, it is located on the northeast side of the campus. It has a separate entrance. It's still in the middle of the campus, so there may be some disruption. But I know when we were having the large equipment moving in and out, there was additional supervision, and we had our administrators helping us out. So definitely it takes a village and coordination with our sites, not only with the department, but also the contractors as well.
Yeah, I just, if we can just be diligent about that, I don't think it's fair to the kids to have their day disrupted because we couldn't plan properly.
Understood.
Thank you. Item 6.4, Business Services, establishing a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, appointment of applicants.
This item is for the board to approve the establishment of a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee and appointment of selected applicants.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 6.4?
I'll move.
I second. Laura, that was you, right? I have a motion from trustee Novellus and a second from trustee Troutman to approve item 6.4. Oh, wait, any discussion, questions? I forgot that little. Mr. Herrera.
Well, hello again. Today, I do have the honor and really privilege and excited about the formation of the Independent Citizens Bond Oversight Committee to close out Measure M as approved by voters back in 2016, which included the construction of the Banning High School Performing Arts Center and the career technical education spaces. Also, this is a segue to then Measure O, which was approved by voters back a year ago, November, actually, almost to the day. And going through the process of providing that oversight to ensure that the dollars that are spent on projects are within the voter-approved list on the ballot. And so there was an application process. We went through 2 different rounds. Part of the application process did require participants to attend a mandatory informational meeting to understand the role and expectations for the committee as well. And so, again, the purpose is to ensure that the project list that was voter approved is exactly what the district is spending those bond dollars on, while the district is setting the priority for those projects. And so before going on to the participants and having introductions performed by the participants here, I just want to give a special thank you to those that went through the process. It is a volunteer process here. It does take some time. We're going to be meeting about 4 times a year, and it's really to protect the interests of the voters and also the taxpayers, property taxpayers. And so tonight we do have 4 out of 5 applicants. Unfortunately, 1 was not able to attend due to work obligations. So I would like to welcome here to the podium Ms. Susan Abel.
Good evening. I'm happy to be here. And do you want me to just read down this? I have a list here, if you'd like to hear it. My name is Susan Abel, and the member category is active in senior citizens organizations. And I am a senior citizen, and I'm in many organizations. I'm actually a retired educator. I was a teacher for 30 years, administrator for 13 years, and I retired after 43 years in education. So I was a principal in Yucaipa, and I worked at the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools office. And it asked me why I'm excited You know, my life was children, my life is school, and I just love being able to support the students, the administrators, everyone involved in banning schools. So that's why I'm here. All right?
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Abel. Next, I would like to welcome to the podium Ms. Karina Alanis.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, I'm short. My name is Karina Alanis, and I currently serve, I'm here for the community member. Sorry, I'm getting ahead. Oh, thank you. Here for the role of community member. I currently serve San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools. My role is an integrated supports outreach specialist. And yeah, I currently support school districts in the community. And part of why I want to do this is because I live here in Banning. I've seen the growth in Banning, and I really want to be here. I do the work already, and that's my why in education. I've been here for 12 years, and I aspire to be like Miss Abel over here. So I really would like to be a part of this. My current role is serving community schools, which is a new initiative. So I already believe in shared power, in community voice. So if I can bring that and actually serve it in the community that I live in, would be amazing. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Alanis. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Adriana Hubert.
We have to be a little quiet. Her little one is taking a nappy. She's at Florida Street and she has an early day tomorrow.
All our business.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Like he said, my name is Adriana Huber. I'm a actual parent here with the district. My daughter, who is in TK, fell asleep. I was hoping to bring her up here with me so you guys could meet her. During my workday, I'm also a Riverside County social worker, and I work for Office on Aging, and I've been a social worker for about 11 years. My daughter's 4.5, so I'm excited to serve in this committee to ensure that we can dedicate not only create some transparency, but some accountability in the use of these bond funds. I'm committed to helping monitor past and current school projects, review financial statements, and support the efforts that provide all of Banning Unified students with a well-maintained environment. As I said, my daughter's 4.5. She's my only child, and my hope is that she will grow up here and thrive, not only as a student, but herself also become a community member one day. I look forward to seeing the positive changes this funding can bring to our schools, knowing and to know that I've played a part in those improvements. Serving in this committee would also allow me to help build the trust and confidence within our community. I think as a social worker, I also understand the importance of ensuring that these bond expenditures are used responsibly for the voter approved projects. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Hubert. And last but not least, in alphabetical order, here I have Ms. Maria Lopez Torres. If you could please join us at the podium.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Maria Lopez Torres. I am a parent member of Banning High and Nicollet Middle School Site Council and a member of both athletic and band booster. I am a stay-at-home mom and have been a volunteer for Banning Unified for close to 10 years or a little over 10 years. What I am most excited in being an ICBOC member is to bring transparency to our community at large and ensuring that funds are properly invested for our school infrastructures. And I am also excited to see our schools looking more refreshed and welcoming for our students and community. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your consideration.
All right, I had a motion from trustee Novellus and a second from trustee Troutman to approve item 6.4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Item 6.5, annual organizational meeting certification, December 11th, 2025 at 5:30 PM.
This item is for the board to adopt the annual organizational meeting certification to certify that the Board of Trustees has selected the day, time, and location of the annual organizational meeting as presented.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 6.5?
I move.
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? All right, I have a motion from Clerk Anguiano and a second from trustee Martinez Lara to approve item 6.5. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Item 7.1, Educational Services Revision, Board Policy 6146.1, High School Graduation Requirements.
This item is for the board to accept and approve the revised version of Board Policy 6146.1, high school graduation requirements.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 7.1?
I move.
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions?
I did have a clarification question. Did I read it correctly? One of the main changes is adding the 3 courses in science? Or did I
So-
misread it?
No, you're right on point. We had, in the most recent update, to go into effect for the class of 2026 to increase the science requirement from 2 years to 3 years, for which that stands. The second recommendation, was to adjust the number of courses needed for CTE, foreign language, and VAPA. The original requirement said students could take 20 courses in any of those 20 credits in any of those 3 courses. The recommendation for the class of 2026 was to originally recommend 1 course in a foreign language, and then the other 10 students could have flexibility with CTE or VAPA. And so the recommendation now is to postpone that 1 year of language for the class of 2027.
And we're able to accommodate with offering the courses needed for these changes?
Yes, and that was the reason why we wanted to postpone, to better position more students to be able to meet that requirement.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? I have a motion from Clerk Anguiano and a second from trustee Troutman to approve item 7.1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. Item 7.2, Educational Services, School Plan for Student Achievement.
This item is for the board to approve the school plans for student achievement for Cabazon, Central, Hemmerling, and Hoffer Elementary Schools, Nicollet Middle School, Banning High School, Banning Independent Study, and New Horizons.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 7.2?
I move. I second.
Any discussion or questions? So yes, I have one. So I was looking through all of the SIPSAs and I noticed a lot of supplemental programs that are being purchased. So I was just curious as to why we're spending so much money on supplemental programs and not putting more focus on our core curriculum.
Most of the supplemental programs are designed to augment what we're already doing in terms of a core program. And you heard, as mentioned earlier with Cabazon, that they're also using additional programs to add on to, layer on top of. As an example, a good portion of the student plan includes supplemental dollars, particularly Title I. And those Title I dollars are meant to go add on top of what we're already doing. They're not supposed to replace anything that we're doing that's core. It's to add on top. And so that's why those programs are being implemented to add on top of what we're doing.
I guess my concern is that there's enough instructional minutes in the day for all of those things to be met without putting additional burden on students or teachers.
Understood, and that's always the balance, if you will, of trying to balance out what's too much, what is enough, but ultimately needs to be based on data and student needs. And that's why you see in these SIPSs, a good portion of these SIPSs is filled with data, because we're supposed to be analyzing that data to say where are there gaps instructionally and what could we do to supplement or add on. As an example, Irvine Math Project is something we've been adding on. And you'll see various literacy programs, math, based upon each school site's data. I will say, just to wrap up my comment, to try to bring more consistency, each year we do strive to say, hey, you're using that supplemental one, you're using that one. Maybe we all use this one if it is in fact effective. And so we are trying to pull that back in so that we don't have so many.
So we are looking at if they are ineffective, we're discontinuing use.
Absolutely. That's the major part of having that data, is to do an evaluation of programs.
Are you able to monitor use so we can see how often they're being utilized?
We are actually looking at, and I'm looking at Mr. Barriga, there is a tool that we very much want to use, which will help us streamline that process to look at implementation data, how often it's being used compared to achievement data, and how much money we're spending on those programs.
Thank you.
I just have a few questions. I was looking at the SIPSA for Central, and I wanted to know why there were certain sections where the columns weren't filled with data. For instance, under the section for enrollment by grade level, only the TK column was completed for 24-25, but not the other areas. And then also like our English learners enrollment, there wasn't data on all the brackets for the school years. And so I was just wondering if that was a typo or we just don't have data for that.
I would like, well, our principal from Central.
And I don't mean to be picky, I was just curious if we just didn't have it.
Good evening, President Ruiz, Board President Ruiz, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, members of the community. Thank you so much for an opportunity to answer the questions. My name is Ileana Gutierrez, and I am still the new proud principal at Central Elementary. And I'm not sure about the question. It could have been a couple of things. You mentioned some areas were left blank. I have to revisit that and see what the reason is, if the data wasn't available yet, or if it was an oversight. So that can be easily
Okay,
fixed.
I can send it to Mr. Davis then.
Yeah, I'll look right now too
I was
as
just
well.
curious because like all columns were completed within those two sections, except certain ones, which are years that have already passed.
Yes, and we could definitely add that.
Okay.
The SIPSA is an ongoing document, it's a live document, and we can keep adding, improving and updating it.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you for that. Thank
Yeah,
you for catching that.
Thank you for being willing.
No, of course. Any other questions?
Well, I have one for Nicolette, but that wouldn't be you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good.
And then for Nicolette, it's also the same pattern, I guess, that I noticed for specifically on page 7 for reclassification. There was missing data for certain school years. So I was just wondering if it was a typo or we just didn't have it. But I can email Mr. Davis too, and he can report back.
It's a race. Let's see who makes it first.
For both Central and Nicolette, I wanted to say that the data that's uploaded comes straight from the state through the data tracking system.
So we don't put it.
No, we don't input it, so sometimes it does miss some spaces that we will have to go in and fill out. But it's supposed to come directly from the state into our SIPSs. And we just take that information and we analyze the data based on what they gave us.
But we're able to input,
You are able to input.
so we could have
We
technically.
could go back and put it in if
Okay.
they didn't, yes.
Okay.
But sometimes it's due to the years that's why it's missing, because something took place during that year
Okay.
that the information was not uploaded correctly from the state.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Cole.
You're welcome.
Same answer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I agree and concur. We can definitely fix that information. But were there other questions for Nicolette?
No, I think that's it. I do kind of have one more question overall. I noticed a lot of them said incentives for CASP. I'm just curious as to what those are.
There are a variety of incentives that sites provide students. There could be anything from cute pencils, stickers, games, things that have to do with learning as a way to get students excited about the test, but also to provide them with something that's educational.
So more like motivational than
Motivational.
incentivizing? Okay. I just thought maybe like they got some kind of reward or something if they got growth. I don't know.
Well, let's get to the mic. Let's get to the mic. Let it flow.
Yeah.
So yes, it's actually both. We want to incentivize them into doing their best on the test. So we make sure that we let them know, if you do your best on the test, if you come every day, if you come on time, you eat your breakfast, then you will get rewarded for working so hard, because we know that it is a long test. We know that it requires stamina. So we want them to know that we appreciate them putting forth their best effort. So I know some have game trucks at the end. I know we also do tickets where we do a drawing where they can win different prizes. So each site does something differently to make sure that they let the students know that we appreciate the effort.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No. I was going to turn my mic off. All right, I have a motion from trustee Troutman and a second from clerk Anguiano to approve item 7.2. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we need to make note that she left, or how do we do that? So we just need it documented?
She stepped out at 8:57 p.m.
Thank you. Motion passes 4-0. Item 7.3, out-of-state travel, California Association of Directors of Activities, CADA Convention.
This item is for the board to approve out-of-state travel for the California Association of Directors of Activities Convention being held in Reno, Nevada, March 4th through the 6th, 2026.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 7.3?
I'll move. I'll second.
Any discussion or questions?
I'm curious if we already know the staff members that will be attending this conference?
I asked the same. Do we have an update?
Ooh.
We do have that information.
I'm like,
Yeah,
will
you'll
we
share
find
it? Like,
There are a couple members from Nicolette and come from the high school, but we'll share that information.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
I have a motion from trustee Martinez Lara and a second from trustee Troutman to approve item 7.3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Item 8.1, business services, notice of completion.
This item is for the board to approve notices of completion as provided.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 8.1?
I move. I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? I have a motion from trustee Troutman and a second from trustee Martinez Lara to approve item 8.1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Item 8.2, business services, contractual agreements.
This item is for the board to approve and/or ratify contractual agreements as provided.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 8.2?
I move.
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? I have a motion from Clerk Anguiano and a second from Trustee Martinez Lara to approve item 8.2. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Item 8.3, Business Services Monthly Fiscal Services Reports, also known as Mr. Herrera's favorite thing.
This item is for the board to approve monthly fiscal services reports, bank reconciliations, purchase orders, warrant summary, and commercial warrant registers.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 8.3?
I move. I second.
Any discussion or questions? I have a motion from Trustee Troutman and a second from Clerk Anguiano to approve item 8.3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Item 9.1, Board Member Comments. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, and I'll keep it very short and sweet. Thank you to everyone who came today. Thank you to everyone who attended online. Thank you for all your hard work as always. Have a great night and stay safe.
Good evening. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for their hard work and dedication as per usual. It has been a busy time for Banning USD, and I'd love to share what I've seen. I was able to attend the production of Puffs on Thursday, October 23rd. It was absolutely amazing. And well done. Our amazing students did an awesome job on stage as well as all involved. This past Friday at the CIF game, our Broncos played against Coachella Valley High School and fought valiantly. Unfortunately, we did not procure a win, but I am extremely proud of how hard they fought, and I'm not remiss in noting there were a few flags thrown that I did not agree with. And a lot of parents, I'm sure, agree. I heard it in the crowd. Still, they deserve recognition for making it this far. I did see a strong admin presence at the football game. I was very happy to see that. And I note seeing President Ruiz, Clerk Anguiano, and I didn't see Ms. Martinez-Lara, but I'm sure you're there. You're usually at the games. It was a good game. I enjoyed watching it. On Monday, I had the pleasure of visiting Hoffer Elementary with District Office Admin, our wonderful principals, and Mrs. Novales. I have to say it was very enlightening as we visited the SDC, mild mod, and general education classes. Unfortunately, we were unable to visit all grades as some were testing, but I was very impressed with what I saw. These kids genuinely love where they are, and it shows on how engaged they were in their everyday class. These teachers definitely don't get the credit they deserve, but I'd like to start by saying thank you for all you do. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You want to go? You can go. I'll go last.
Thank you. Again, I just want to reiterate what the former two board members have said. Thank you all for being here, coming to all of the meetings and staying with us through the night, for everything you do with our students every day and to make their educational experience amazing. I continue to see amazing things happening in Banning, and it makes me very proud to sit where I'm sitting and to be a member of the Banning community. I agree with some not so great calls at the game on Friday, and I think we had the better team, and that's all I'm going to say. Have a great Thanksgiving and have a safe night.
All right, my turn. All right, so I hope that all of our veteran employees were honored and felt the love on Veterans Day. I appreciate that Angel did a post with several pictures of our school sites that provided that honor for them and celebrated them. I really enjoy the pictures that Angel takes and posts on our website, so I hope our families take advantage and are able to scroll through them. They're really good quality and great to save for future memories, right? I enjoy attending as many sports as I can with my children. You'll see me out there with my family. We were there for the football game. We try to make as many as we can. Our bands, my son is in band as well. So I truly do appreciate everything that our staff does to provide these opportunities for our students and for us as families to provide the support and encouragement, because you never know what their future is going to be, and that's where the doors open for them. The Fall Festival at Central, I attended with my family. It was great. Lots of family, lots of games, prizes, candy, loteria. It was awesome. And I am looking forward to Thanksgiving break. And I hope that everyone gets lots of rest, eats lots of yummy food, and enjoys their time with their family. Thank you.
Item 10.1, future board items. Anybody have any future board items? All right. Item 13.1, adjourn meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move. I second.
I have a motion from trustee Troutman and a second from clerk Angiano to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. This meeting is adjourned at 9:09 PM.